What is up, my bearded and non-bearded homies? Welcome back to Beards and Bitcoins, a crypto podcast for the man's man with your host, BitBoy and JChains. Thank you for your support. To stay current, make sure you're subscribed on iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud, and over on YouTube for the video versions. If you like what you hear, show us some love and let us know in the comments. Rate and reviews are always welcome. We do also take requests, so email us info@beardsandbitcoins.com, especially if you want to see us chat with your favorite projects. In today's episode, we are joined by Aaron D. Johnston of the Holy City Beard and Moustache Society. Aaron is the 2017 world champion in the Goatee division. His goatee is 24 inches long. We literally had a blast talking to Aaron about the world championships, grooming techniques, and all things related to being successful in the world of facial hair. We're very excited to stay in contact with these guys, and there is plenty of Beard and Mustache Society activity in my hometown of Austin, Texas. This is the first in many new episodes where we're bringing you information that's not necessarily focused on crypto, but manly type stuff that dudes can relate to. We enjoyed this one. We hope you will too. Before we jump into this week's episode, here's a quick word about our show sponsor, Monarch Wallet. With the Monarch Universal Decentralized Cryptocurrency Wallet, you can buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum for fiat and Bitcoin Cash with a credit card. You can store, send, receive Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Stellar, as well as all ERC20 tokens and more. You can earn interest on select cryptos. You can trade most ERC20 tokens via the ERC20 DEX, where you can also track your gains and losses. You can review market data for most cryptos and keep up to date on blockchain and crypto news. You can maintain control over your private seed, and there is key sync with the compatible desktop app. There is a 1 KYC for all services, so you truly get to rule your own financial kingdom from the palm of your hand. Visit monarchtoken.io today for more info.
Welcome back to Beards and Bitcoins, a crypto podcast for the man's man. I'm your co-host, BitBoy. That's your co-host, JChains. And today, we have an interview with one of the most manly guys out there. Let me tell you guys that right now. We're going to be interviewing
awesome
Aaron D. Johnston, 2017 World Goatee champion. I've never been a world champion at anything. Have you, JChains?
Not a world champion. No, not at all. And he's also the president of his Mustache and Beard Society. It's the Holy City Beard and Moustache Society.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine being you're a president and a world champ?
It doesn't get any better than that. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor and a world champ. I mean, that might be all, but not even at the same time. So I don't know. We found some interesting tie-ins between Beards and Bitcoins today on the podcast, talking about an interesting story that kind of impacted his world and our world. I'll tell you guys about that, in the interview. But I think that this is really the kickoff episode for us, really changing the podcast, because we know you guys like crypto. We know that. But I don't know if you guys know this, but me and JChains we're regular guys. You know what I mean?
Dudes, like just straight up dudes.
Yeah. We're not super techie. We're not nerdy. We don't sit around and play video games all the time, which if you do that, that's totally cool. A lot of our friends do. Speaking of world champion, I may have been the Tony Hawk 3 Pro Skater world champion as a kid. That's a different story. But, the thing is sometimes you just got to take time to talk about dude stuff.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very excited. I mean, when we're talking dude stuff, obviously beards, barbecue, motorcycles, bikes. Ooh, bike. Yeah, we'll call them bikes. Dudes call them bikes.
Dudes call them bikes, dude. Trying to get somebody on the podcast from the channel Bikes or Beards and Bikes, which is a motorcycle channel on YouTube. I got a connection to the host there, so through our wives that know each other. So, and of course, I had no idea that her friend had a husband who had a channel on YouTube called Beards and Bikes. And if you actually type in Beards and in YouTube, it's the first channel that pops up. So it's very popular. Almost 100,000 subscribers on there. So
dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, we love to talk motorcycles. Now, also talking about motorcycles, we've got Decentraland coming up on the podcast, in the relative near future, in the next couple months. And Decentraland is a virtual world where, you can get plots of land and do kind of stuff. So me and JChains have been talking about what we want our virtual plot to be. And, you want to tell them what we came up with, JChains?
Well, it's basically the culmination of all this exciting man stuff. So I think we're going to do the Beards and Bitcoin Saloon.
Yes, that's right. But that's not all. Not only are we going to do the Beards and Bitcoin Saloon, but we're gonna serve barbecue, and we are going to have a bike shop, a custom motorcycle shop right next door. We are going to build a Beards and Bitcoins digital empire because we don't have the resources to do all these things in real life right now. Why not do them on the interwebs?
Why not? I think we should probably do like a tattoo parlor.
Oh, yeah. I got a tattoo.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Strip club, or is that no?
Strip club's probably a no-go, I would say. You might have to run that in the back without me. I don't know if Mom of Wild Things is going to go for me running a strip, even if it's a virtual strip club. I doubt it. It was really hard to pass the saloon off, but I think I'm going to be okay running the saloon. So, yeah. But we're just really on the podcast trying to turn this into, guys, we're consumed with crypto. We talk crypto all day, every day. It's nice to have somewhere where you can go and you can get crypto information, but at the same time, you can just talk normal dude stuff.
That's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm bullish on the future of the Beards and Bitcoins crypto podcast because it's a podcast for the man's man.
For the man's man. I mean, if you're especially American man, if you're an American man, you love all the same things we love. We know that already. Sports. Yeah. Do you love sports? Everybody loves sports. Who doesn't love sports? Nerds.
Brisket.
Nerds do not love sports. If someone tells you they're at a game and you say, "Oh, what sports ball are you watching?" You're a nerd. That goes out to Crypto Sanity. You're a nerd, Crypto Sanity. Had to tell you that.
Oof. Shots fired, dog.
Shots fired. I love having an internet beef that I manufacture. It's so nice.
Yeah. Who's winning the match, Pop?
What?
That's from Zoolander. From Zoolander. Remember when?
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't go to the school for people who can't podcast good. That's a Derek.
Man, now you're straight beefing in real life. What's up now?
All day, every day. So, well, cool. Well, we are going to go ahead and get to this interview right after we talk about Monarch for a second here. So let me pull up the latest Monarch update having to do with their user interface. This is a little bit of the beard story we're going to be talking later, guys. Trip to World Beard Competition ends in arrest for alleged dark web drug dealer. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that because that is an absolutely insane story. So let me pull up the latest update here real quick. Here we are on Monarch. Monarch Wallet Android and iOS updates bring SLP support, universal KYC, and more. Monarch Blockchain Corporation has updated the Monarch Wallet for Android and iOS with a new user interface, full transaction history support for all tokens, SLP token support, an SLP faucet where users can receive free SLP tokens, and their universal KYC has been launched. If you don't know what SLP is, it is Simple Ledger Protocol. So I'll let you guys look into that. If you're interested, if you want to, if you have time and you want to check it out, you can go to monarchtoken.io and read more about that update. Make sure that you guys do download the Monarch wallet. It's top notch. Monarch is building the future for those interested in one wallet that consolidates the best services and functionality into one simple and easy to use app. Monarch will empower users to control all aspects of their financial kingdom from the palm of their hand. You may have heard the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. With Monarch, you own your keys and seed, meaning you own your crypto. With Monarch, you can store, receive, send, swap, buy, sell, and earn interest on your crypto, track your portfolio, the news, the market cap, and more today. We're constantly adding new services and updates too. Learn more today by visiting monarchtoken.io or download the wallet for free today from Apple or Google.
All right, we are joined by Aaron D. Johnston of the Holy City Mustache and Beard Club. Society? Club?
Society, but, it's good enough.
It's good enough. Well, anyway, we are super excited to have you on the show, man, and talk all about beards, goatees, all sorts of fun stuff. He was the 2017 world champion in the goatee division, which happened to be in my hometown here in Austin, Texas. Aaron, we're super excited to talk to you, man. What's going on in your world?
Not much. I'm just excited to be on Beards and Bitcoins, and hopefully we talk mostly about the beards, of the beards and the Bitcoins. But yeah, a little background about myself, if that's what you want me to do. I'm Aaron D. Johnston, like you said. I am the president of the Holy City Beard and Moustache Society. I am the co-host, however you want to put it, of a show called Talking Beards. It's a weekly live Facebook show that we turn into an audio podcast. I don't know. That's about it. I have an Instagram, Aaron D. Johnston, Facebook, Aaron D. Johnston, all that good stuff. I travel around, do beard stuff. About it.
What is the Holy City? What city is that? Is that are y'all like everybody that's on the podcast that's in the club? You guys based in the same place, or is that just kind of a general name you guys use?
Okay, so the club I am the president of is the Holy City Beard and Mustache Society, and it is based out of Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
We host a beard competition every Memorial Day weekend. So this last one was May 26th. It just happened, and all beard competitions are a charity fundraiser. And there was, like I said, our 10th annual, and I've been running the club for 2 years. So it was founded in 2007 by a guy named Paul Roof. He is internet claim to fame was the beer can professor. He's on a beer can, and he was a professor at a college that was, I guess it's like a Christian college in Charleston. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they fired him after he popped up on the beer can and turned into like a big, huge internet around the world kind of story. And he got kind of blown up, a little bit of internet fame off of that. But then he got a job pretty well instantly at another college there in Charleston. And he got tired of running the beard club and said, here you go. You embody everything about beard competitions, and you're not going to let it fail. So here it is. Bye. And so the competition that I started doing in, May 2014, and now I'm the president, and I put the whole competition on pretty well. I have a good little team behind me, but for the most part, I get the ball rolling every year, and it's pretty nerve-wracking for January until May, but it's over now. So,
and then you get to let your hair down and just chill.
You really took that thing. You really took that thing by the handlebars and just rode it out.
There you go. Yeah, right by the handlebars.
Oh my gosh!
So you guys just recently came back from Belgium, right? Where the for this year.
Yeah. So me and my wife, the weekend before our competition, which I was really dreading those 2 weeks for about a year, but it was whatever it was, the 18th of May. Me and my wife went to Antwerp, Belgium, to the 2019 World Beard and Mustache Championships, and it was a pretty good time. It wasn't as big of a turnout as we had in Austin in 17, but it was still a freaking lot of beards there.
A lot of beards, man.
A lot of beards and mustaches.
I guess like here, this is where I want to start. Like I have so many questions, but
fire away.
I think the first question that comes to mind is, why the goatee? Why did you decide that the goatee was the route that you wanted to do instead of, like a more, like, I guess the difference is it just doesn't connect to your ear as long as
so the ruling for the World Beard and Mustache Association, which makes the rules per category, there has to be an 1.5 inch gap between the hairline and the beard line. I think there's rumblings of kind of changing that to, instead of it being from the hairline to the beard line, changing it from the earlobe down, which I'd still be all right. But a lot of people, they'll have a full beard and then they'll just shave the 1.5 inch up here. And that's not even close to being a goatee, but by the rules it is. So, rules are rules. But yeah, so I started competing in 2014 and I was a full beard, I guess like under 8 inches. The next year, 15, I was full beard over 12 inches. 16, I competed full beard, styled stash all year. I went, I didn't win a bunch, but I started finally placing. And I was in Denver in 2016, and I watched the Goatees, and that was for the Great American Beard and Mustache Championships, and it's a every 2 years competition on even years in the United States. And I was watching the Goatees, and I'm like, man, if I would shave my sides off, I could have freaking placed at this competition. And at the time, that was the biggest competition.
You saw the opportunity. I love this.
So, like, my beard grows long, but it's just the sides. It's full, but it gets, inch and a half long, and it just stops. And some people, they get their freaking side of their beard grows as much as the bottom, and it's just huge. And those are the guys who win. And I can't beat that just by having a 24-inch long beard with, little sides. So, hey, just take off what don't grow. And 2017, it was on. I won 18 competitions that year.
Wow.
Worlds.
Now, are you making like when you're winning these competitions, like, or like I kind of think of like bodybuilders, like they go out there and they flex, you know what I mean? Like I guess for beard competitions, like you're going out there and you're like putting your beard out to be the best it can be. What does that look like? I know we see the viral pictures of like the beards and designs and things like that. I'm sure you've done that too. But what is it for the competitions you're trying to get your beard to look like? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll, on bigger competitions, I'll take more time. But smaller competitions, I'll just kind of take a shower, oil my beard, I'll brush it out, I'll blow dry it, fluff it as much as I can, make sure I shave well and check out my lines. That's a big thing I really look at because I'm in a partial beard category, so they're shaved. So I always look at my lines, and that's kind of one of the things I always lean towards. Like some people, they'll just shave and be done. Well, I'll go ahead and take extra time for stuff like that. And you just kind of look at yourself and look as pretty as possible, basically. It's a beauty pageant for beards. So, wear a suit, fix your hair. If you have a hair out of place, kind of tuck it or, look at yourself a few extra times and just make it look as good as possible, whatever means necessary without using styling aids. But that's because I'm in a natural category. Now, there are there's categories like you see the dudes, the guys that always get the press. Yeah, exactly.
But eat the ramen out of their beard.
Yeah, exactly. I know that guy. He's super good. He's super nice guy. And actually, my wife in
the crypto community, because there's a huge ramen tie-in to the crypto community. So,
oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, when the price goes down, everybody's like, time to break out the ramen.
Well, I think that's everybody. I don't think that's just a crypto thing. I think that's just pretty well everybody's like, well, I'm paychecks in a couple of days. I better break out the ramen. Yeah. But yeah, it's those freestyle guys that always get the publicity, and you see them in the newspapers. And heck, my buddies were on Kelly and Ryan Kelly Ripa's show or Ryan, whatever, their show, and they were the freestyle guys after the Great American in 2018 and Worlds in 17. They're the cool looking ones, they're the ones that always get the pictures and stuff. But that's not the category I generally do. I've done it, and it's instant. As soon as you walk into, the place with the beard competition going on, if you're freestyled, everyone's flocking to you and taking pictures.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. Now when you're getting ready, now you said you kind of do all your own maintenance and manicuring and whatnot, and you fluff it, and are there people that have an assistant or a stylist that does it for it, or is it one of the rules where you got to do it all yourself?
There's no rules saying that, but a lot of the freestyle people, they will have someone, do their hairspray and shaping and all that stuff. But to my knowledge, nobody that does a natural category has a assistant, but I'm sure there is. My wife would,
your wife's got to be there placing those hairs. I can see it.
Yeah. Now. She'll take the scissors and kind of look for split ends and stuff like that. I don't generally do that. After I get ready, for a competition, if I look at the end of my beard and there's one hair that's an inch longer than the rest, I'm nipping it off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's no rules against it, but I know some judges, if there's two freestyle guys, and it always goes back to them with, I don't know, having assistants and whatnot. But if they know two dudes,
they are the divas of the beard
absolutely,
world.
absolutely. Yeah, the freestyle guys are definitely the divas for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they will definitely lean towards a person more times than not if they know that dude woke up at 4:00 in the morning and he took 6 hours making his beard, as opposed to he sat in a chair and his wife did it for him.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, sometimes the dude that has wife did it, there's no denying him, I mean, they gotta win. But sometimes if they're close, I've heard rumblings of judges say, well, I know he did his own, so I'm
I love
a little bit extra points.
I love this because like we're in this huge echo chamber in cryptocurrency. Like we're in this niche, we're in this echo chamber. Like you say like, oh, ramen's a big thing outside of crypto. I'm like, I've never been outside of crypto. I don't know what that's like in the real world, And it's funny because like when I went over to JChains' house a couple months ago and stayed there, and him and his wife, they work in the bus industry, and like the bus industry has like basically like they get I'm just telling his whole life story, but basically like they basically get buses for college athletes or like the Final Four and stuff, and like charter buses. And I've discovered like there's this whole world of drama and politics in the bus world. And it's like we all just live in these little like niches where, you hear rumblings and like, these people are like this, and, they're, some guys are doing their own beards, the guys that have the stylist. And it's just funny, like this whole world of the beard competitions.
The beard community. It's a whole thing, man. I had no idea. It's a whole freaking thing. I mean,
it's cool. I love it already.
Yeah. I mean, we watched a reality show in like 2013. It was like, oh, we're going to go to a beard competition. Never in my wildest dreams did I think it would absolutely consume my life the way it does. I mean, I have a freaking talk show about beards every week. We have like my wife's beard room is just trophies and her beards. I mean, it's just, we don't even have a guest room anymore. I mean, it's a freaking craft room and trophies. And now our bonus room is slowly turned into my studio. I mean, I've got this whole corner, and then that whole part of the room is just stuff left over from our competition, and like our swag and T-shirts and stuff for our club. And it's just consuming. It absolutely consumes my life. But it's awesome.
The beard societies, man, that sounds like such a better place to be than the bus world. I can promise you that.
The crypto world is pretty fun, though. I'll say that.
About those bus guys?
Those bus guys. Man, you feel like you got ran over by a bus today. I'm sure there's none of those puns going on. Yeah. So you mentioned your wife. I want to ask you this question because this is a little personal question, because this is a problem I run into. The wife does not love the big beard. Look, we're a family-friendly show, you know what I'm saying? But like, you're getting some moments with your wife, some husband-wife thing, and your faces are getting close to each other, and the beard is just everywhere. My beard's much more scraggly than this usually. Like, how did your wife feel about it? Like, is your beard too big at some point where you just got to be like, maybe I got to.
It's never too big. I've never heard that. Yeah, she's a huge fan of it. I mean, at the beginning, probably in the beginning of this whole thing, she was a little skeptical about me having a big beard. And, I mean, yeah, it gets in the way with stuff, but it's part of life, and you kind of figure out ways to deal with it. I mean, I eat crazy, and everyone laughs every time I eat, but, I don't even think about it anymore. And it goes the same way, every time we kiss. I'm sure at first it was kind of weird that my mustache got in her mouth, and now she probably don't even think about it, But yeah, she's a big fan of it. And I even talked about having to change jobs probably about it right at a year ago. Actually, literally a year ago, I made a Facebook post about it, and they wanted me to shave at the new job. And she was like, yeah, you're just not going to go work there. So yeah, sorry. And it was fine. I wasn't going to, but the idea was there. It might've been like a 2% idea, but she was like, yeah, we're squashing this. You're not even thinking about it. So yeah, she's a big fan of it. So it's not even an idea to make me shave.
Have there ever been like an actual bearded lady at these competitions?
Yeah. So it's funny you should ask that. So the the whole beard community, there's a whole section of women called the Whiskerinas. And my wife is one of them. She makes beards.
Okay.
So pretty much every beard competition, there's 2 categories for women. There's a realistic category and there's a creative category. The realistic category, the whole basis is trying to make a beard that looks as real as possible. And right now, my wife is the reigning Great American Champion and the reigning British National Champion.
Wow.
What she does is she makes a full.
That's Australia.
Yeah, same thing. So she makes a full beard on a head, like a mannequin head, and then she freestyles it, of course. And she gets huge recognition for it, and everybody freaks out. Like, she even made, back to the ramen deal. So that guy's name is Incredibeard. And she made one of his beards. She made the ramen noodle beard. And she was told that no one else had the guts to even attempt to make this beard. And she did it. And not only did she do it, she did it at a competition he was going to be at, and he doesn't go to very many. And his wife, who is his stylist, was a judge.
Oof.
And my wife had the guts to make that beard and go show it to him, and they freaked out. Like, they posted it on his Instagram, and his Instagram's got like 250,000 followers.
Wow.
And like, he was like, this is it. Like, this girl made my beard, and she had ramen in it and ate the ramen and everything. So yeah, she's a big deal in the Whiskerina community. So like I said, never thought watching a reality show was going to consume our lives. Like, this absolutely has consumed our lives. But to go back to that, yeah, there are actually a few women who grow their own beard. One girl, her name is Rose Gale, and she competed at the 2017 World Beard Mustache Championships in Austin. And since she grows her own beard, she was placed in the category with the men. It's not a gender thing, but men generally, grow the real beard. So she wasn't in the category with the women, because the women, and there was one dude in the women's category because he made it out of duct tape. And I mean, he showed up and all of his buddies had beards, and they were like, dude, just do it. And Austin said it was cool. It wasn't in the rules that a man couldn't make a Whiskerina beard. It's just kind of implied that the guys are in the realistic, or the real beards, and the women are in the creative beards. But hey, it wasn't in the rules. So hey, he made one and he didn't have a beard. So he did it. And then Rose did it in I think it was maybe like 6 to 8 inches or whatever the category was. And she did fairly well. She's got a really good beard. And I know there's a few others, but I haven't met them. I just know Rose. She's the only one that I personally know.
Well, let's talk about, I want to grow my beard. I don't necessarily want to compete in a competition, but the name of our podcast is Beards and Bitcoins. And what we're a crypto podcast for the man's man. We like to talk about crypto. We like to talk about things that regular dudes like, because we're just regular dudes. But because the name of the show is Beards and Bitcoins, I feel like I got to get my beard really up to par. And I just need some suggestions, advice. Do you suggest, or is it considered steroids if you use beard growth alone? Is that the PEDs of the beard world? Do those things even work? Yeah, because I got some patches, like I got this patch right here where it just does not fill in right. I've been cutting it a little lower, as you can see there. Well, what are you suggesting to a guy like me that wants to get my beard to the next level?
What's the longest you've gone without shaving?
Well, without getting it trimmed, I get it trimmed.
Without nothing. What's the longest you've
gone? That's a good question. I mean, maybe.
See, that's where I would start. I would go personally. I would go a year. I think every guy should go a whole year without doing anything and just see what happens. But I know that's not for everybody. Wow. Because you're talking about your little patches and stuff. Yeah. That stuff, once you get 6 months of growth over it, that crap may just fill over and you don't even see it. So that's part of it. Just if you want a good beard, let a beard grow. Let it just be its thing. Let it do what it's going to do, and then trim it instead of trimming it to be something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah.
Makes a ton of
So
sense.
I mean, it's all about taking care of it. You know, if you eat right, if you exercise, those things are going to help.
Really?
Have to do those
I'm
things.
screwed.
You don't have to. I'm just saying,
I'm
you know,
totally screwed if I have to eat
it's
right
all
or work.
part of your health. You know, everything grows from your body. If you take care of your body, then it should take care of the hair better. I don't know. That's what I hear. So I try to do as best as I can.
So with that being said, with that being said, you said let it do its thing. How your goatee is 24 inches long. So
Correct.
so there is a considerable amount of time that you've spent to just grow this thing out without cutting it.
Yeah, I'm on 7 years with light trimming.
Wow.
That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah,
And you do your own light trimming? Nobody else does it for you?
my barber every once in a while, but more times than not, it's me or my wife. And
I was just wondering if you let anybody else touch your beard. But your barber, you trust that
my
guy pretty good?
barber has done it a couple times, but it's been a while. But yeah, if I show up in my barber and it's in a bun, like if I'm right after work, there's no point in him touching it. But if it's like a Saturday and I'm freshly brushed out and everything, he'll do my hair and be like, I'll go ahead and just hit the end real quick. And he was a huge part of me shaving my sides off. I mean, he was a huge part of it because he did it. Like, I didn't shave my sides. I was freaking out about it. I was in cold sweats, and I'm not even kidding. When we talked about it, he was like, all right, this is it. It's a new year. You said we're going to do it. And we kind of started talking about it. He was like, all right, there we go. Now there's no going back. And I'm glad he did it, so it was huge. But yeah, to go back to your thing, you can take biotin. It's like a hair, skin, and nails kind of vitamin. You can get it anywhere, and I take it on a regular basis, and I got to cut my nails once a week. So it's obviously doing something, I mean, so it's a noticeable difference. A lot of those vitamins that you see online, I've taken them, and it's basically just a bunch of vitamins and biotin in a little capsule. I mean,
that's what I was kind of wondering, because like we've been looking at maybe getting some beard sponsors on the show, like Dollar Shave Club or what. That's the opposite of a beard. What's the other one? The Beard Club, Dollar Beard Club. I don't know what it is, but the long and short is they send you products every month that you can sign up for what you want. And then they got all these upsells and they got these beard vitamins. And I'm like, is it really worth it? Or is it really just,
it's biotin, dude. Like that. I mean, if they get it to you cheap and it's got biotin in it, it's not going to hurt. But I mean, if they're like, oh, this is this magic pill and it's $30 when you can go to the grocery store and get the same thing, you can get a bottle of biotin for like $10. And it's like a 60-day supply. It's the same crap, Go
to bed with no beard, wake up with a long beard. Like
there you go. That's it. Use oil. I mean, a good beard oil will moisturize the skin underneath the hair. You have healthy skin underneath the hair, it'll help a healthier beard grow. I mean, it's just a lot of little things like that.
You like the Honest Amish? I see you wearing the shirt there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere, dude. Like,
I got that in my Walmart, I know.
Oh yeah, you can get it at Walmart, and I've been to the factory. I'm sponsored by those guys.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, they're super good dudes, and I'm really lucky. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I'm sponsored, I got to talk about them. I was already using their stuff. It was already amazing stuff, and the stars just aligned for me to get with them, and it was perfect. And it's been freaking amazing because their stuff is the best, and I'm not even freaking kidding. They got a good soap. They got the best balm I've ever used, and I've used a lot of beard balms trying stuff. I don't know what they do different from everybody else, and I don't know why anyone else just don't freaking copy them, because it's the best. I mean, but all their products is all natural, all good. There's not a bunch of alcohol or anything like that, and that's one of the things. If you start looking into these beard oils that have scents and stuff in them, they got a scent. Well, most scents are like a perfume based, and a lot of perfumes have alcohol in them. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to put that crap in your beard because then it'll dry it out.
It'll dry out and get all crumbly.
And plus, if you have an alcoholic around, you might be scared they might just
he'll just be chugging your beard oil.
chugging
you got to go buy
that
more.
beard oil.
Yeah.
He'll be like super drunk and wake up with a huge beard. It'll be like
yeah, because that's how that works. If you drink
exactly.
oil,
Well, I mean,
faster.
If you put it on your face, that's one thing. But if you drink it straight, I mean, you're an animal. So
exactly, and they try not to put that on the labels because they don't want you to drink it because then it gives you beard oil breath or whatever.
PEDs for the beard comps.
Exactly. Yeah, see, so then you'd be cheating for beard competitions.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, you take care of it, and it's part of your body. So anything, you take care of it. You treat it good, it'll treat you good.
Nice, man. Well, that's some good advice because I definitely feel like I need some because I've really been struggling with what to do. I just need to know the direction. And I think
a really good beard. It's got good color. I like the white and the little bit of red, man. That's nice. Just let those cheeks fill in and just see what it's going to do. Get some length on it and it'll cover those patches up.
God, we all need more length, don't we? Golly.
That's it, man. That's it.
That's the name of the game. So
just let it grow.
Just let it grow. Love it. So, we actually, we focused on the beards, but I do want to ask you what you know about the one story that we know that crosses over between Bitcoin and beards other than our podcast, which is the story of this guy. Let me pull it up here for the people watching on YouTube so they can see. Let's see. Here we go. Pull it up. You guys should be able to see it too. A trip to World Beard Competition ends in arrest for alleged dark web dealer. And this was basically a guy that was going to Austin for a beard competition, and he was actually a drug dealer on the dark web. What do you know about this story? He had a ton of Bitcoins, and that's why it made news in the crypto world.
Yeah, so everything I know about this guy, I never met him. I know some of my buddies met him. I think – oh, I just lost my earpiece. I think he was at the World Beard and Moustache Championships in 2015, and that's where people kind of met him. And he was going to the World Beard and Mustache Championships in Austin. See, I know that guy. That's Gary Faulkner and him. And Gary got a bunch of flack or whatever the right word. Bunch of people were like, "Oh, I can't believe you're friends with this dude." He's like, I posed for a picture with him. I don't know. I posed for a picture with 1 million people. And see, Gary's in the picture because he's got a freestyle beard.
So that's freestyle, right?
That's freestyle right there. And he's he placed third in 2019 at Worlds.
Gary's a nice guy, but super diva. I can already tell.
Oh, yeah. He's the biggest diva ever. I love him. He's awesome. Yeah, so he apparently, like you said, he was some Bitcoin internet drug dealer dude. He was actually on an app called Beard Wars back in like 15 and 16. And so what it was like it was a beard competition app. And so it was internet based, and somehow I guess this dude's super good at the internet, obviously, if he was, had Bitcoins and all that kind of stuff going on, and he was beating everybody and he was getting all this, fake money. Well, maybe he was getting real money out of it. I don't know. But yeah, so there was like a ranking system, and he was just smashing everybody. And it was kind of weird because no one knew who he was. And now, long story short, he was the king of the bearded. Kingpin drug dealer beard guy, and he had like a suitcase full of drugs, and he was coming to Austin in 2017 and got popped at the border somewhere.
How about this? No, he didn't get popped at the border. He got busted at the Atlanta airport. So JChains is I'm in Atlanta. You're into beards, and we're into Bitcoins. This really transcends. This is like the ultimate story for this podcast right here.
They got him at like the border patrol checkpoint or whatever when he was coming into the country from France. So,
yeah. Well, you know what this just says? This really just says, ultimately we just can't trust French people. I think that's really what it boils down to.
That's pretty much everything I got from that story when I was reading it. You can't trust French people.
I personally eat freedom fries.
Freedom fries.
Me too. 100%. Absolutely. And I just eat just regular toast. I don't even eat French toast. It's not allowed in my house.
No, French toast is really disgusting. It's just eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, you
eggs, really soggy bread.
No, that's not good for the beard. So I feel like I could ask you like 10 million more questions.
You absolutely could.
I could. There's so many. I did not even know once we got you on how interested I would be in your life. Like, I think it's absolutely fascinating. I love it.
Well, we can always do a part 2 sometime.
Yeah.
I would love that. So what is a typical, do you get medals? Do you get trophies? All of the above if you win?
Let's see. See this barrel?
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I got that in Cincinnati, Ohio last year. And that it's usually stuff like that, man. A lot of the competitions, they do really cool handmade trophies.
Oh, that's
now
nice.
our competition in Charleston, we try to, I don't know the right word, like portray it as like a red carpet event. So we literally have a red carpet and a red carpet photographer, and so all of our trophies we get a sponsor to kind of help us buy them, and they're nice gold like chalices. Is that the right word for
Yes.
like? So they're, you see them up on stage, and it's just a huge selection of these big gold chalices. So we don't make ours in Charleston, but most competitions they do just make really cool handmade stuff. But some buy them, but generally it's just all a variety. Like some competitions they'll weld like I don't know, they'll weld crap together and just come up with amazing artwork out of like car parts and stuff like that. So it's all fun.
We need to host our own beard championship.
There you go. Do it.
The beards and Bitcoins, and you get a Bitcoin if you're the grand prize winner. That would be good. It'll probably be worth about $30,000 or $40,000 by the time we launch this. So
yeah, exactly. So what's one Bitcoin now? Like 10 grand?
Right now it's at about 77. It was really
$7,000. That's amazing.
No, 7.7 thousand. So it was up close to 9,000, pretty recently, and then it got pushed back down. But still the prospects for the price of Bitcoin right now are still very great. Not just long term. I mean, a lot of people read long term, they're great, but even over the next year, I think things will be pretty good. So
do you just do Bitcoin, or you do like, and they're like Litecoin and stuff like that?
There you go. Yeah, we cover everything. Yeah.
What about Dogecoin?
Dogecoin's great because Dogecoin is like another one of those communities. Like you got
right,
crypto,
yeah, because it's all Reddit, right?
Yes, you got the Dogecoin community. So really every coin has its own little community that goes behind it. I'm part of a project called IOST, and I run a node for them, and so I'm kind of like heavily involved in the actual like producing the blocks and all the computer stuff that goes along with crypto that your average person doesn't care about. But we cover a lot of altcoins. It's called Beards and Bitcoins because JChains, do you want to tell them why we named the podcast Beards and Bitcoins?
Oh yeah, I mean I could.
Yeah.
So I actually purchased this domain name like a ton of years ago, and we were at we met each other at a conference a couple of years ago, and just kind of hit it off well and said, hey, let's start a podcast. So we bounced a few things back and forth, and ultimately we landed on Beards and Bitcoins because we owned the URL, and
that's why we named it, because he had the domain.
I mean, I already own it. Might as well use it. Yeah.
He said, dude, we had like some pretty good, like I had like the Chain Gang, like, some real cool, like, blockchain or Bitcoin names, I was like, it sounds a little too criminal like, but he's like, dude, I got this website, Beards and Bitcoins. I was like, perfect.
We both have beards. I mean, it worked out.
We do. Yeah. But now I'm committed to the beard. I mean, I wasn't like, I certainly have loved having a beard, but I wasn't like fully committed to the beard until obviously, now the name of the podcast is Beards and Bitcoin. So I have to have the beard. So I'm definitely trying to get.
I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can get y'all some stuff and try to help your beard grow to its fullest.
So question, you said like on the other thing it wasn't connected. So if I do like a high wall,
boom,
like that's a big enough gap. Ooh.
No, that's not freaking goatee.
look at my goatee.
Dude,
Yeah.
don't be trying to get around the rules, dude. You're like freaking Jose Canseco in this beard game. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Well,
Freaking
cool,
guys always trying to break the rules,
We're rebels. But well, it's definitely been so great to have you on, and definitely want to stay in touch. And
absolutely.
Me and JChains are talking about going to a beard competition at some point, not to enter, but to go check it out and maybe do a live stream or something like that. So for the podcast, so definitely want to continue that, and hopefully maybe one day we'll meet you in person.
Oh, we'll definitely cross paths.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan, my man.
Beards and Bitcoins. It's perfect.
Hey, we'll be in Austin, where you are, JChains, in February, and Atlanta doesn't really have a beard club scene anymore. They did, but it's kind of died down. But I'm
going to Texas a lot in the near future. So
there you go. Yeah. February something, around the middle of the month. Cassie 14, I believe. Come and shave it 14.
Plan on let's plan on having.
Oh, come and shave it! Oh, that's awesome. Come and shave it.
Yeah, it's the longest running one in the United States is Austin Facial Hair Club's competition.
Well, JChains, when I was in Texas, he told me about what come and take it means. He gave me the whole story. And so now that I hear that come and shave it, I understand exactly what that means. That's really funny.
You also had a great conversation about that with the lady at the Alamo.
Yeah, I did.
Were you in the basement?
She wouldn't let us go down there. She runs the fudge stand at the Alamo gift shop, and she chatted with us for like 2 hours.
Awesome lady. She gave me all the history. So, well, tell them one more time, Aaron, where they can find you.
I am Aaron D. Johnston. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I got like 12 followers over there, so things are really popping off on Twitter. Aaron D. Yeah.
If you want to come.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Not too much.
Johnston. You can find Talking Beards on Facebook. I believe there's an underscore. No, there's underscores on Instagram. Some other guy had Talking Beards. He doesn't freaking use the page. So Talking Beards, Facebook, every Tuesday, 8:00 Eastern, we go live. Usually we have a guest. Sometimes we don't have a guest. We do an hour-long show. We try to keep it at a solid hour. We do a trivia at the end of the show. We give stuff away. It's a good time. Check it out. We interact with our chat room kind of pretty frequently, and I don't know. It's a good time. I think we were on episode 25 this week.
Awesome.
Yeah, check us out.
Cool.
That's it, man.
Definitely look forward to doing that.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and that's all we got for today. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, buddy. Anytime. See y'all.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.
That was intense. I really got to get this beard up to par. I hope you guys like it. Did you notice the 2017 World Beard Champion, or World Goatee Champion, Aaron D. Johnston, told me I have a nice beard with nice color. I appreciated that. But we were super excited to have him on, and we're super excited about this new direction for the podcast to not just talk crypto all the time. We're going to talk crypto. We're going to talk markets. We're going to have definitely interesting guests from the crypto world, but we're going to reach out. We're going to have some different guests from different arenas in life that we find interesting. Basically, if me and JChains find it interesting, we're going to get them on the podcast. So hope you guys enjoyed that new direction. Don't forget to follow our official Twitter at Beards Bitcoins. And also don't forget to subscribe to our Beards and Bitcoins YouTube channel. We'll talk to you guys later.